Give some people time to come in. Thank you for joining. Feel free to say something in the chat so that I know you're here. We're fighting depression today, so we're coming hard. We have to come hard. We're fighting depression. How's everybody doing? Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. You're too kind. You're too kind. I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. Hope everybody's having fun this weekend. We're just going to talk about depression. Okay? Being that I am a neurofeedback clinician, I combat depression pretty frequently. So we're not going to talk about neurofeedback solutions today, though. We're going to talk about biomagnetic pair solutions for depression, because I believe that everyone should have a set of good magnets in their house, and they should have someone in the family who knows how to use the magnets to fight different illnesses and different things in their home. It is my firm belief that healthcare should not be expensive, and that it's something that God has given us, just like God has given us magnets, lodestone, and all of the energies of the world, of the universe, to use to make ourselves healthy and to maintain our health. First of all, I'd like to say thank you, HD Videos. I'm glad you like the beat. Hey, man, when you're fighting depression, you gotta come hard, man. You gotta come hard. You gotta come heavy. So we're fighting. You know what I mean? We're fighting. I'll bring it down just a tad, right, so you can hear me speak a little bit better. But thank you. So you know, if you were here, if someone was here in person and they were combating depression, I would say, you know, first, we're going to take a dietary approach. What are you eating? Okay, you have to understand that, I am a carnivore, so I'm not, not judging anyone. However, mammals are intelligent enough to understand their impending slaughter. And therefore, the fear and stress that exists inside the conscious mammal before slaughter has now been released in the form of adrenaline and other hormones into the blood of the animal. And you eat that when you eat that animal flesh. And so, therefore, a lot of that has to be cleansed out of you. As I'm filming, as I'm broadcasting, I'm doing an ionic foot detox on myself. So I'm in a constant state of detoxifying myself from these types of pathogens, these types of substances from my blood that I receive from my food. But that's neither here nor there. You know, when I eat, when I take monatomic gold, okay, and Ethereum gold, it tends to make me want to fast more, and it also tends to make me want to eat light, eat a lot of fish and a lot of chicken, but not too much red meat. But that's another topic. But your diet has a lot to do with whether or not you are suffering from depression. And you should also take some haritaki. And I always turn around when I say that because I keep a box of haritaki right here next to my desk at all times. Haritaki, once again, is called Kadukai Podi in India. It is the mother of all herbs, or the king of all herbs, as understood in India and Ayurvedic medication. It is also the active ingredient in over 70%, I believe, of the Ayurvedic medications coming out of India and Nepal, and is very good for cleansing the blood, cleansing the digestive system, and also for cleansing the brain. It's good for cleansing the brain if you take it orally. The gurus say that if you rub your gums with it, you can manifest wealth. And it's also good if you put it with some DMSO and rub it on your scalp as a scalp elixir. It's very good. So try a little bit of haritaki. Now, the reason I'm recommending it for depression is because haritaki cleanses the pineal gland. And if you are using fluoride toothpaste, any toothpaste with fluoride in it, I highly suggest that you stop. Okay, I very strongly recommend that you stop, because the fluoride in the toothpaste is calcifying your pineal gland. So you don't want that to happen. The pineal gland is a source of serotonin. Serotonin is the endorphin that keeps us from feeling depressed. It is our happiness endorphin. It is our love endorphin. It is also the endorphin that allows us to have high self-esteem. It's very related to self-esteem, closely related to self-esteem. And it is also the endorphin that empowers us to recognize each other's emotions by our facial expressions. That keeps us from going into fight or flight. That keeps us from becoming polarized against whoever we're involved in communicating with and or having a conflict with. So back to depression. I'm going to go over some basic biomagnetic pairs. I don't know how clearly you can see this broadcast on your screen, but I'm trying my best to broadcast in 4K in the highest that I can. And I'm going to be talking about a few pairs here that I think they're critical, and you should understand them. Now remember, a few tips. If you're going to be using magnets, especially on the head, you want to start with as weak a magnet as you can. Do not put strong, rare earth magnets on the head if you can at all avoid it. Okay? The negative pole of the magnet on the pineal gland helps in the diagnostic process, because it gives you a stronger ability, a stronger capacity to speak to the person's body. And if you're an experienced clinician, experienced therapist, you would develop the ability to diagnose without running a magnet scan across the body, but you'll be able to diagnose just using just talking to the body. But that's for another set of videos. Now, I was going to talk about fatigue, but you know what? I said, you know what? Let me talk about depression. Okay, because I think depression is something that people are dealing with, especially right now when we're dealing with this whole, the beer virus thing, and people being locked in, and the world being shut down as it is right now. So we're gonna just go right into this, okay? All right. Brachial. Now, I hope you can see on my illustrations. I'm gonna check right quick. I hope you can see on my illustrations which one of the pairs is highlighted the most. If not, I'm going to be going over it with my mouse pointer, and I hope you can see it. But brachial is the one right here on the elbows. All right, you can see brachial. Now, the illustration is in Spanish, so I'm not really going to talk about what are all the other indications for these particular pairs, because that would make this video take a lot longer than it really is already going to take. Okay, and of course, feel free to call in if you would like to discuss any pairs. Let me put my call-in number here, and there you go. Feel free to call in if you want to ask me anything about the pairs, or if you want to ask for any other pairs, right? If you want to ask us about any other pairs, I would love to talk to you. Or if you just want to, shoot the stuff, if you just want to talk, I appreciate that. Remember to keep an eye on us on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/BiomedRx TV. And you can go to BiomedRx.tv if you want to watch more programs that we have produced. So back to the pairs we're looking at. The second pair we're going to discuss for depression is the brain stem and the cerebellum. Okay, bulboraquídeo, right here where my cursor is. All right, raquídeo, and cerebello. All right, so the bottom one is going to get the negative. You see the N right here on the first illustration on the left. The bottom one is going to be the negative. That's where the black part of the magnet is going to touch the body, right? And then the top is going to be the positive. Okay? Right here. All right. The next pair we're going to be talking about is cerebello-bulboraquídeo, except this time the cerebello is going to get the negative pole and the positive is going to be the one below on the brainstem. Now, you're going to say, Devin, well, how are you going to put both positive and negative and both positive and negative there? In these cases, what you do is you try, okay, first you place the negative. You always place the negative first. First you place the negative and find out, do a check, do a muscle testing at the bottom of the feet, right? Find out, remember how you do the muscle testing. You don't pull, you don't tug, you just gently check it out, right? Gently feel, and the body will respond. When the body responds with tension, because the heart is on the left-hand side, the left side of the brain is larger, it controls the right-hand side of the body, the right leg will tense up more than the left, and therefore the right leg will appear to shorten in comparison to the left. That takes practice. It's doable, and anyone can learn it, but it is something that takes practice. Muscle testing takes practice. But if you ever want to practice, you can come here to the BiomedRx Health Center, and I will show you in person. and then give you an opportunity to practice. Okay. Now, where were we? So, how do you test? You put the negative in place. You find out if you get the reaction from the feet. If you put the negative on the bulbo rachidio, on the brainstem, on the nape of the neck, and then you get the shortening of the leg, then you put the positive above on the cerebellum, and the legs come back to being even with each other, then you know that they're in the right place. And the opposite is true if not. Okay? Now, the next pair for depression the corpus callosum and the brainstem. Okay, another area right here where we call that area is called P4. That's the parietal 4. Okay, in neuroscience terms. So we call that P4, and that is also a place where we train in neurofeedback for depression. So it is very understandable that that particular area would be an area that you would train for to get rid of depression. Okay, and that is really good. I think that's really good. Okay. All right. Now, depression. We're going to come again. Depresión. All right. So now, diaphragm to diaphragm. This is very interesting because diaphragm to diaphragm is a very special pair for me because I like the way it affects the traversed colon as well as the liver as well as the pancreas. And for that reason, I use it pretty often. I use it for detoxification purposes. I use it for internal organ strengthening purposes. And I use it with the most powerful magnets that I have. And those are very powerful rare earth neodymium magnets. Now those magnets you can put on the body. You actually it's most effective if you put it on the torso, on the trunk, on the heaviest mass of the body. But yeah, I highly recommend you pay attention to that. The one that's right on the top, okay? Diaphragm to diaphragm. It's written in Spanish, diafragma a diafragma. Okay? All right. So yes, thank you for joining, everyone. Now, the next pair that we're going to be dealing with the mastoid complex, which is the bone right here behind the ear. The bone mass, which is behind the ear, right? And the kidney on the same side, right? Now, the kidney is often the go-to point for the alternative part of the pair when you are not dealing with the simultaneous presence of two pathogens. So, and that is because the kidney can always use a charge. The pyramids in the kidneys can always use a straightening of the ions in order to function properly, in order to flush your kidneys. Even though I'm doing an ionic foot detoxification as we speak, Sometimes I also take my very powerful rare earth neodymium magnets and stick them on my chair with medical tape right at the location of my kidneys. But because they're so powerful, I only use the negative side. While we're on the subject, I can see my bottle appearing right down here in the lower left corner. I wanted you to go to BiomedRxCBD.com and purchase some BiomedRx CBD oil. Okay, and it is gluten-free, glyphosate-free, third-party tested, CO2 extracted, homogenized, grown locally on organic fields. Okay, organic hemp fields. So I really like you to check out some BiomedRx CBD. A little station break. Okay. So now here we go. The next biomagnetic pair that we're going to talk about for depression is maxillar superior and the tail of the pancreas. Okay? Maxillar superior and the tail of the pancreas.
New message is received from 96863. Message is home prices rise as inventory falls.
All right.
Lock one up today. Start here. http://rrto.me/r/.
Pardon my message.
609_B. Hut Home Susa.
That was nice. That's a new setting I'm trying out on my phone. She's got a nice voice. Okay, so the negative would go here, right? Maxillar superior, and the positive would go on the tail of the pancreas. Okay, tail of the pancreas on the left hand side. All right, very good for depression. Ojo a ojo. You can have them close their eyes and use small, little quarter-size delicate magnets right over the eyes. Okay? You will be taking care of depression. We're taking care of depression, okay? Don't use strong magnets on the eyes. Don't use big magnets on the eyes. And the last pair we're going to be talking about suprasensorial hypophysis. Right at the back of the head, which is, I guess you would say, the junction between the parietal lobe and the occipital lobe. Okay? That's where the negative goes. And the positive right here on the forehead. So basically, you are magnetizing your third eye. You're magnetizing your pineal gland. All right? All right? For sadness, loneliness, fear, angst, anxiety, depression. All right? And I believe that pair can also be used in reverse. Feel free to call if you have any questions. If you would like me to discuss any other particular pairs, if you have anything else that you would like me to discuss at all, actually. Hope the sound is going well. Hope the sound is going well. Yep, sounds good to me. So, yeah. Thank you for joining us once again. Like I said, I'm here. Cell phone is here, plugged into the charger, waiting for you guys to call. Feel free to call in live if you have any pairs. We just talked about depression. Depression could also be fought with neurofeedback, of course. When we use infra-low neurofeedback, we are actually able to do some very powerful effects on depression. Also with CES, cranial electrotherapy stimulation. That's part of the use of the Mind Alive David, which is a home brain training device. You put the Mind Alive David on you clip the ear clips onto your earlobes, and it delivers a calibrated pulse of DC power, which stimulates the brain, stimulates most importantly the pineal gland, but also stimulates the entire brain to produce serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, and all of your endorphins. This is very effective at fighting depression. This is very effective at fighting the blues. It's very effective. Of course, I'd have to say stay away from alcohol, stay away from drugs, stay away from chemicals, because the chemicals play a part in really, as your body grows dependent upon the chemicals, it doesn't produce your own endorphins in the proper balance. So you want to give your body a chance to get its juices right. And sometimes, depending on how long you've spent in a chemically dependent state, sometimes it could take a long time to get your body to the state where you're feeling good, right, just on your own endorphins. But exercise plays a part, diet plays a part, exercising your brain plays a part, and now because you can always rewind this video and play it back and forth for yourself. And now you know that neurofeedback also plays a part. Okay? I mean, neurofeedback, yes, but biomagnetic pair therapy, neurofeedback, audiovisual brain entrainment, cranial electrotherapy stimulation, hypnotherapy, and biomagnetic pair therapy. But if you are not in Southern California and you can't come in person to the BiomedRx Health Center, then by all means, rewind this video and get yourself some magnets, right? And go ahead. Now, if you want to purchase some biomagnetic pair therapy magnets, you can do so at BiomedRx Biomagnetism.com. So you just look up BiomedRx Biomagnetism.com. BiomedRx Biomagnetism.com, and you can buy yourself. There are several links where you can buy yourself some good magnets that you can start with. Okay, I am working on a BiomedRx line of magnets. I am just trying to figure out a way that I can brand them that is not going to damage the leather upholstery on the magnet or the magnet itself. But once I get that figured out, I'm going to have a set of our own set in our own catalog on BiomedRx Biomagnetism.com. But for now, you can purchase some good sets through other dealers that I have on that website. What else? Yes, you already know about BiomedRx CBD and how it is a very good thing for you to take. Feel free to put your questions in chat if you have any. Restarting. I do marathon sessions on the ionic foot detox. Okay, I've got experience in biomedical engineering in hemodialysis, and it works pretty much on the same function, on the same principle as dialysis. And my body can always use the flush and the clear thinking and the detoxification that comes from ionic foot baths. So I highly recommend that you get one and that you use it on an ongoing basis. Do marathon sessions back to back as frequently as you can. And focus on negative ions. Get as many negative ions into your body as you possibly can. All right, so while we're on the subject of BiomedRx CBD, maybe I should let them tell you about it themselves.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Excuse my framing. We're going to have to play that again. I'm so sorry I didn't frame that properly.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
All right. If you like these videos and you think they're pretty informative or instructive, I'd like you to go ahead on and comment, okay? Don't forget, hit the like, subscribe. Let us know that we're doing okay. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notification of new videos here on the BiomedRx channel. As I mentioned before, BiomedRx CBD, if you wanted to purchase some, we have gold label CBD oil, right? We've got the Happy Formula, which is CBD, CBG, and CBDV. And we also sell dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO. Okay. DMSO is a great solvent. It's a great catalyst for carrying CBD oil through the skin and into the bloodstream. Great catalyst. All right, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay.
BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
All right. Well, that was cool. That was enjoyable, I must say. As you can see, the Biomedrix Male Enhancement Formula, it has some secret ingredients that are very, very good for enlarging things, as you can see. You go ahead and invest in a little bit of Biomedrix Male Enhancement Formula, and you can watch the, let's say, eggplant here grow before your very eyes. That's like a WTF going on down there. That shit is crazy. Yes, Biomedrix Meal Enhancement Formula. You can buy that also at BiomedRxCBD.com. Well, thank you for your participation. Let me check my chat here. You know, I haven't really Soma Academy, honestly, man, or lady. Thank you for Soma Alchemy. Soma, I'm sorry, ma'am. The risk of Fukushima contamination with salt. You know, I didn't realize that there was that big of a risk of the contamination from Fukushima into our sea salts, but that is a very real concern. I really hadn't thought about that, but I'm glad you brought that up. And yes, I believe the biomagnetic pair is a very, very powerful discovery as well, and I'm glad to be working in this field. I think it's a blessing. I think it's a blessing to be able to help people. I think the more you do it, the more it aligns your energy as a person. And you know, therapy, you become therapy, right? You become therapy. You become more centered as an individual as time goes on. Like I said, attitude changes take place, dietary changes take place, energetic changes take place, and you don't even realize the power that you have to bring healing to people because it's something that you carry around all the time. But it is a blessing. And like I said, I do recommend that everyone buy a good set of biomagnetic pair of magnets. If you have anything in particular that you would like for me to discuss on this show and on this channel, any pairs or any condition that you would like me to discuss for future live videos, by all means, please give me a call or send me an email to info@biomedrx.tv, or you can go to biomedrx.tv, or you can message me here in YouTube, or you can put a comment in the comments below. There are a lot of places that you can comment, that you can find. And of course, find us on Patreon if you want to send us some money to help us support us and help us make these great videos. Patreon.com/BiomedRxTV. And I think that's about it. I don't want to bore you guys too long. I hope you guys are enjoying the funky beat and everything else in this video, and I hope you learned something. And I'd like you to go ahead and like I said, save this video. Remember, rewind it if you have to, and don't be depressed. Use magnets. All right, stay kind, stay healthy, stay blessed, and Stay tuned to BiomedRx TV. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.